That should settle my stomach. Well, it's Homebrew Wednesday again. Even though I must confess this is not a homebrew. This is the Hbw Imperial Coffee Stout, 8.9% from Flying Dog. I'm not getting a huge hit of coffee on it. More sweet malts and a little bit of alcohol. But smooth. Now, if you can hear the noise in the background, I'm trying my Bearline cooler. Finally thought, well, I've got a bit of time. I've just bought another one. So I better see if this one works. Just to get a general idea of how they work and what they do and don't do. And it seems to work. As far as I know, it's had a different agitator motor put in it. If you know what one of those is, let me show you, because I've got the top off. Ooh, matron. So what we have is a Maxi 310. This is a 2-product cooler, basically meaning you can have 2 beer lines going through it, hence 2 products. So we have 2 ins and 2 outs. This is a coolant recirculating coil. Basically this is just plumbed in temporarily because obviously it flows water through. Background, the idea being the Python type beer lines have a flow and return coolant line, and your beer lines are obviously all attached around it to keep them cool during transport to the pump. And if you see down there on this one, you'll see there's 2 pipes coming out of the font, which basically is the return and flow, so that the beer is cooled all the way along from the point of it entering the cooler from the keg, all the way along the line into your font, and then the coolant obviously returns back for a fresh recirc. This one has also got another 2 pipes on it, if the camera will pick them up by my thumb, which so you get that nice condensating effect on the font in addition to the other one. I'm probably not going to bother connecting those up, but and just have the flow through. So this is plumbed in because obviously it's pumping around. Inside there is the water tank. You can see it swishing around. That's the agitator motor, which basically keeps it flowing, and it also acts as a pump for the water to go up and round and back. It's been repaired, and this is not the original one, which I think is why it's making a little bit of noise. There's a little bit of cavitation there. So basically inside there is a bit like a heat exchanger. Your stainless steel pipe goes into the water tank, is cooled by the compressor, which is basically like a fridge compressor. That's inside there with a coil, which basically almost brings the water down to freezing point. It does build up as an ice bank when you're on high demand. This rotates and acts as the pump for the flow, and also keeps the water stirring so it doesn't turn into a solid block of ice. And inside it's basically a bit like your old water chiller. It's a stainless steel coil. I'm going to get the light on. I might just pick up in there. There is 2 stainless steel coils. So basically the warm beer goes in, is cooled by the circulation around the coil, back out, cooled up to your pump, and obviously to help it along its way, this pipe is running along it as well, which keeps the run cold and chills the font as well. So it's basically like loft pipe insulation. So I'm going to make my own Python up. You can buy the stuff pre-made, but it's pretty expensive. So I'm just going to use it and then split off at the point of the taps when I build the bar. So I've got this one, which is only 2 products. I've got 3 pumps, so I'm hoping at some stage to get three different beers or wine, cider, whatever. So the one I've just picked up is faulty. It's got a Duff thermostat, according to the guy. Once I got my hands on it and start playing around with it, I'm going to find out whether that's true or false. But that's got 3 coils in it. So obviously that can do 3 and this can only do 2. So I may sell this one, I may keep it, I may use it for a fermentation cooler for one of these fermenters. Obviously it can only work as a coolant, not as a heater, but obviously in the summer it would have a water jacket running around the outside of the tank. You could use this as a recirc to chill and just hook the power onto an STC as you would do a fridge, but instead of being inside a fridge it would just run this coolant, or at least turn the pump on and off on a solenoid, so that this is obviously chilled and ready to go. That would just recirc, cool it down. But I don't know, we'll see. Oh, that's better, a bit quiet now. That's the end of the thing. It's a bit noisier than I was expecting it to be. There is the additional fan for the cooler on the radiator on the back of the compressor as well, which cuts in. That's not too bad. It's mounted well though with the cabinet lids off, so we'll see which one is the quieter really. Use one or the other, repair it, sell it, whatever. So the guy I think is in Bolton, Lancashire, but he's local to me every so often, so he's bringing it down, so I haven't got to pay 18 quid postage. So I've got to wait a couple of weeks for him to make his way down here before I can get my hands on it. And I managed to finally track down a Designing the Great Beers book. Not for a Norfolk Hillbilly price, but as close as I could get to it, because I just didn't want to pay 17 quid for a book, or 12 quid plus postage. I managed to get it for £6.99. It's a used copy, but in exceptionally good. I think someone obviously bought it, started to read it and thought, fuck, this is a bit in depth for me, I'll stick with the kit and kilo. So yeah, it seems pretty good nick. There's no dirty thumbprints or worn pages yet. I've only just started to get into it, but I think I've still got me the Randy Marsh book to finish yet. But yeah, I managed to get hold of this as well, which I wanted to, was humming hard for this one a long while. But I spoke to John Berry on Facebook, who'd got it, and I said, you know, is it worth the money? And he said yes, and I thought, well, that means I've got to find it cheaper. So eventually I did. Also, I've been after an electronic set of scales for weighing out grains when I get back to brewing. I have got a set of parcel ones, but want something a bit more accurate for that, and you know, if I go back to selling on eBay and bits and pieces if I have to at some stage. And there was one on there that I liked, but the only problem with it was its accuracy is 2 gram increments. You know, it triggers when you're weighing stuff out, it only triggers every 2 grams, which isn't a lot of good for hop and your adjunct grains, your speciality grains where you're not going to use a lot. A gram here and there probably going to make a great deal of difference. But I managed to get a 25 kilo scales, but in 1 gram increment. I found them on eBay for, I think 15 quid was the cheapest price, and then about another 5 a postage. I managed to pick this one up for 5 quid and £5.99 postage, or vice versa. Anyway, it cost £11 bar a penny. You can set this for counting as well. by putting the weight in and the increments. You can also recalibrate it as well and do your tire weight. So if you're putting whatever on here, you just press the tire and then you can keep repeated weighing. So ideal for hops or grain bills. So we'll pick that one up too. Things ain't going to the plan. I've lost a year so far on doing everything, because I wanted everything I wanted to be done by the time I hit 50, which isn't this year, it's next year. I said that when I was 40, or coming up to 48, so it gave me 2 years to do the garden, and one thing and another, I've lost a year already through illness and depression. So a year is a long time. So I might put plans back. We're not out of the woods yet. So we'll keep plodding on. That's all you can do. We'll get there in the end. So we've got what else have I got coming? Some mini kegs, the little 9 litre ones. I was hoping to do a brew this bank holiday weekend, but that didn't work out. My mum's gone in hospital to compound everything else. Again, I haven't been feeling brilliant again, which is annoying. But I was hoping to do a brew and keg it so that I can serve it in April, because I'll have been married for 25 years. So the in-laws are putting a little spread on, so I was hoping to get a beer done and take a keg up there, which will be my first kegged beer, so hopefully I can taste a bit here. So I've got a kit, oh bloody hell, partial extract kit from Homebrew Online, Homebrew Company, whatever the hell they're called. You know the guys in Ireland we buy the kegs from. But Jesus. Yeah, so I've got that, but I've got some tins of extract, which brings me to my equations that I did say 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago when I done my last Homebrew Wednesday, because I think this has been a 2-week gap, about the equations to convert various formula from one to the other. Now this is not a hard and fast set in stone equation, because things like the Greg Hughes book, the Bible as we know, converting all grain to DME, which a lot of their recipes are already down the bottom of the page, they are converted for dry malt extract. Now here I've got point timesing the all grain weight to get DME times the all grain weight by 0.6. Their recipes, it's closer to 0.64. Clone brews, who knows, they all seem to be different. The reason being that obviously different extracts, different dry malt extract manufacturers, different grains have a different yield of sugar extracted from them. So it can depend from manufacturer to manufacturer, and obviously who's writing these books, the efficiency of their brew equipment. If they're basing it on the efficiency, so obviously you've got to do a little bit of research, because you need to know, so like Munton's dry malt extract might be different from another one that's made in America or Australia or New Zealand or whatever. But as a general guide to get you somewhere near where you want to be, I'm pretty sure Brewer's Friend has a conversion function on their software or on their website, which again may be slightly different. I tend to find that you only get 2. They'll convert all grain to LME or DME and that's it. But basically, obviously, timesing the opposite of defined, timesing is dividing. So all grain to liquid malt extract, you would times the weight of the all grain by 0.75, to get what the equivalent in light malt extract. All grain to DME, times it by 0.6, or if it's the Bible, 0.64 is a bit closer. Light malt extract recipes, putting them into all grain, you divide it by 0.75. Dry malt extract recipe, to get your base grain, divide it by 0.6. Light malt extract to dry malt extract, times it by 0.8. Dry malt extract, reversing it, is 1.25. They vary, so they're not, you know, disclaimer, set in stone, but I have used some of them. On some books it works more or less right, on others it don't, but again, as I said, it does depend on the efficiency of the extract you use and all they've used to quote their figures and their conversion rates. So do your research, but that's a generalisational idea of the equations. Class dismissed. Right, well, I think that's about it. We'll have to see how the week goes, but I've got to chase down gas this week. I'm on holiday this week. I had to, as I think I said last time, move it to the week back, because I've got hospital appointments for the wife and doctor's appointments for the wife. Remind me, 25 years. Why did I get married? I suppose we all say that when they're not listening. Right, I'll waste no more of your time, and see you all soon. Ta-da!